Very good morning, everyone. You can see three important questions from your audit planning and internal control. Do pay full attention, make full use of it. Let's quickly get going. First is what are the various matters the auditor should consider when planning the audit procedures. Assertions that cannot be addressed by substantive procedures alone. So when this can occur is it can occur when there is highly automated processing, for example, in RFIDs or various other aspects, there will be less, totally, absolutely zero manual intervention. Next is existence of internal control. When it is tested, it could reduce the need or scope for further other substantive audit procedures. And third point is the potential for substantive analytical procedures that would reduce the need or scope for other types of audit procedures. In the previous one we saw was the internal control impact, and next is the substantive analytical procedures. Fourth point is the need to incorporate an element of unpredictability in procedures performed. Very, very important point. I repeat, the need to incorporate an element of unpredictability, because suddenly you should not convey everything to the client. Then you will not be able to come across a situation whether any fraud has taken place during the year. Next is the need to perform further audit procedures to address the potential for management override of controls or other fraud scenarios. And lastly, the need to perform specific procedures to address in code specific, the key term is significant risks that have been identified. I repeat the last point, the need to perform specific procedures to address significant risks that have been identified. So these are various scenarios in which the auditor should consider when planning the audit procedures. Moving on to the next, internal control systems are subject to various inherent limitations. What are they? First is management's consideration that cost of an internal control does not exceed expected benefits to be derived. Very, very important point. For example, I'm going to invest 3 crores, but the return I'm going to get from it is only 1 crore. So why I should even afford it? Next is the fact that most internal controls do not tend to be directed at transactions of unusual nature, because it can happen because of humans are the one who will be executing it due to carelessness, distraction, seeing their mobile, or thinking about their life issues. Various things are there, misunderstanding of instructions, etc. Next is the possibility of circumvention of internal controls through collusion with employees or with parties outside the entity. So this is another scenario that is possible, the inherent limitations. Fourth is the possibility that person responsible for exercising internal control could abuse the responsibility. For example, member of management may override an internal control. Lastly, manipulations by management with respect to transactions or estimates and judgments required in the preparation of financial statements. So these are the various inherent limitations of internal control systems. Moving on to the last question, briefly elaborate the circumstances where audit program needs to be suitably altered. First is, for example, the audit procedures at the time of the start commencement of the audit were designed for certain volume of turnover, but subsequently the volume of turnover has substantially increased. So accordingly, materiality and various other thresholds needs to be enhanced as well. On other scenarios is where there have been significant changes in the accounting organization, procedure, and personnel subsequent to the planning of the audit process. Next is where in the during the course of the audit, it has been discovered that internal procedures were not as effective as assumed. At the beginning, audited out internal procedures were effective, but while carrying out few procedures, he found out that it's not as effective. So some other more controls needs to be devised, needs to be brought in, needs to be checked as well. Next is where there has been extraordinary increase in the amount of book debts or that in value of stocks as compared to that in the previous year. Lastly, where a suspicion has been aroused during the course of audit or information that has been received that assets of the company has been misappropriated by any personnel, and suddenly it has been brought to the notice, and some so and so person has taken it and all those things. So these are the various circumstances where audit program needs to be suitably audited. Hope all of you found this discussion question useful. These are the various questions. These are minute areas from your study material where you might have studied, or you might not be able to recall, or you might have overread this question. So these are the various things. So this question has got chance of coming in your question 1C, 2, 3, etc. So pay full attention, make full use of it. During your FR break, you can watch these videos as well. Best wishes, keep going, all the very best.